Richard Skinner, Doug Pelfrey are here, the eternal optimist. Did you really say 4-2 before this thing started?
Absolutely.
And
Nostradamus.
had no doubts. As a matter of fact, in speaking with Whitworth in the locker room, he says, we're really upset we're not 6-0. You never would have gone there.
No.
I think you were going 0-6. How surprised are you at 4-2?
I'm surprised. And, let's face it, at the time, we didn't know Indy was not going to have Peyton Manning at this point in time. That changed the parameters a little bit. But at the same time, we didn't know Buffalo was going to be that good either. And certainly the win over Buffalo now looks better and better. And Frisco being as good as they are now at 5-1. So, some of the things we thought were going to be fairly easy wins didn't become that, or teams have changed very much. And so, 4-2 for them right now with who they've beat, who they've played, that's pretty solid.
Are they a better 4-2 team than you thought they'd be at this point?
I think they are, yes. I think a lot of people should be excited about this team for a couple of reasons. One, it's not just your same old Bengals. The quarterback is a leader. He's somebody who's a lot of fun, who throws the ball quick. I think offensively, I'm excited about the offensive coordinator. Jay Gruden has loosened it up a little bit, and it's just not so predictable that I think you saw with Bratkowski.
No, we'll say, and they've walked a fine line between being maybe 6-0 or even being 2-4, though. And it's been a couple plays here and a couple plays there.
That's the NFL.
That's exactly right. It's the NFL. It is 2 to 5 plays a week make the difference, and so far, through 6 games, most of those 2 to 4 or 5 plays have gone the Bengals' way.
Doug, this is one of your questions, because now at 4-2 at bye week, we have to ask on our poll question: will the Bengals make the playoffs?
Super Bowl or playoffs?
We're just going playoffs at this
right,
point.
Okay, easy, big boy.
I know. I do think we have a good chance of making the playoffs.
It's a yes or no question.
Okay, I'm going to have to say no right now, but I think we're in position to make the playoffs, so it's a very good thing.
All right.
No, because they still haven't hit the meat of that schedule yet. You still have the two teams that are still arguably better than you in the division, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. You still have both of them twice. You have Tennessee, which is on the cusp of being a playoff team. Houston's a cornerstone, or on the corner of being a playoff team. You still got a pretty tough schedule coming up after Seattle.
Okay, simple enough. You like the offense. The defense is probably, after Monday night, going to be number one again. Mike Zimmer said, let's not talk about this number one. That was 3 weeks ago when they said that, and this defense appears to only get better. Do you have something that says this defense is that special, or is it simply because it's the USO group and they have become a brotherhood?
No, this defense has a chance to be special because of the front four. The front, and really the front 8, because you rotate so many guys in. And I will say, even in the preseason, if you hung your hat on one thing defensively, it was that defensive front, and it just makes everybody behind them better. It allows a Dan Scooter to step in today. Did you know Ray was gone today watching the game? You knew it because he was out, but did you really notice him not being in the game? And, let's face it, the back's 2 safeties had question marks, and they keep making plays. Reggie Nelson was really a throwaway, and here he is making plays week after week after week.
Yeah, they can't believe that in Jacksonville.
I think the 2 surprises for me are Reggie and when you look at the Nate Clements. Both of them are better than expected, and I think, like Richard said, the front 8 have been really solid.
The interesting thing is Zimmer said that, and I remember talking to him in camp saying, I lobbied to get Nate Clements when we lost J. Joe, and there were people questioning whether or not he had it in the tank. And in talking with him in the locker room today, he says numbers don't really matter. That seems to be a really pervasive attitude within this locker room, that there is no one person, and that's what you search for and have desperately wanted to find here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's you do. Your quarterback doesn't act like a star. Even your wide receiver, and A.J. Green might get to that prima donna stage, he doesn't act that way. Sed has his off-field issues, but Sed doesn't act that way. You don't have really anybody on this team you go, boy, that guy's really going to be a pain in the locker room. They really do seem to be into that whole team concept thing, and while it's hokey, it's working.
Doug, as you head into a bye week with a team like this, is there something that you guard against? Is there perspective that has to be made with a team that's now 4-2 and now suddenly everybody will jump on bandwagon?
Perspective needs to be that we just need to play the next game. Right now we are 4-2. At the same time, like Skinny said, we easily could be 2-4. So this team has to guard against the perspective as we're as good as what we really think we could be, or people are starting to give us the perception that we are. So the fact you got to come back and say, hey, we're still 4-2, but we still have to play next week. And you also have to recover from the injuries.
Will we find out much about this team in Seattle? it is Seattle, but this team goes west and never does well. Right. Do you think we find out a bunch the week after bye?
I do. I just think any young football team in this league that goes on the road and wins, I think you find out a lot about that team, because any team going on the road and winning in this league is a hard thing to do, let alone a young football team which has now just tasted a little bit of success coming off the bye week. Marvin had some great stuff in the locker room after the game that we got a chance to see, where he really told his team, be smart during this bye week. Don't do anything stupid during the bye week. And I think that's important for this team to still stay very grounded. You go to Seattle and win, it does say something.
One reason I like us going to Seattle and winning for a change is, one, obviously we're a young team. At the same time, I do think we're not going in with a lot of injuries, and we are playing a team that we should beat. So, I mean, having a week off to go into that game, we should win. We should be 5-2.
Gentlemen, enjoy your bye week.
We will.
We will.
Zach, we'll send it back to you.